What's happening, gang? Eric here from Ecology of Movement, and today we're having a little 10-minute movement snack. Something to fit into a busy day, just a little bit of strength work. We're going to be focusing on push-ups, single leg Romanian deadlifts, and some getting up and down techniques. What you'll need is a light kettlebell or a heavy kettlebell, depending on where you're at, and a box or chair or something to lean up against for push-ups, or you can do them off the floor if you want. So we are going to start in this deep knee bend position and just bring your right knee across to touch the floor and get a little bit of a stretch in your big toe. Then we're going to cross the left knee and do the same thing. So we'll go just a couple of times across and back. We'll have just a few minutes of warm up and then get into our strength focus. So from this position, I'm going to go side on so you can see me, just a little balance challenge. Can you lean forward and tap the ground with your knees, lean back into that deep knee bend, and potentially come all the way down into a deep squat with your heels down. Again, that's up to deep knee bend, tap knees forward, and then transition back to deep squat. One more of those. We're really aiming for quality of movement today, not just quantity. From here, transitioning into a side bent sit. I've got my hands behind me, and I'm just going to flow my knees across and back a few times. So staying as upright as I can using my hands and touching down with my knees on either side. Noticing how you are breathing, whether you can bring smoothness to the breath that whole way across. I'm going to remove my hands now. Option to do that as well, and just noticing, can you keep that upright position? Does it become quite a bit harder? Next time we transition across, I'm going to pull up into this position, bring my left hand down, my right arm up, reach behind me, reach over my ear. Come up tall, hinge back and down, transition sides, pulling up, right hand down, left arm reaches up and behind and over ear. Come up tall, hinge back down, and we're going to have one more on each side of these movements. Reaching up and behind and over, coming up, hinging back, changing sides, right hand down, left arm reaches up, over and behind. Nice. Coming into our seated position, feet out in front, fingers pointing to the sides, lifting your hips and just pulling back and forth a couple of times. Really using your heels to pull, which is going to switch on your hamstrings. Which you're going to be using in our single leg Romanian deadlift. And then maybe that's enough, or if you want to bring your left foot to the middle and do a single leg version with your right leg off the floor, you can. Looking for about 4 or 5 on each side. And then changing legs, continuing that little pull forward and back. Again, we're not looking to push through any pain and, sacrifice movement quality just to make the distance. We're looking to make everything as smooth and sound as we can. Transitioning from here onto your knees, sitting back on your toes, we're going to have a couple of hip hinge movements. So pulling forward and up, squeezing your glute muscles, and then hinging back and down. And again, pulling forward and up, squeezing, hinging down. 3 more of these. Getting that really nice, strong glute engagement. The next one at the top, I'm going to reach behind with my left hand, come back to center, reach behind with my right hand, come back to center, left hand, right hand. Excellent. Staying up on your knees, bring your arms out to the sides, almost like cactus arms. Very nice. And then reach up tall and pull down back to that cactus arm position. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Now I'm not puffing out my chest, I'm keeping my ribs in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Once more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Nice. Tuck your toes, sit back on your toes. Bring your hands out in front like you're holding a platter. elbows to your sides, and without puffing out your chest, just bring those hands wide, warming up some of the external rotators of our shoulders. We'll hold here for another couple of breaths. Very nice. Then release that, interlace your fingers, push your hands forward and lift up into that glute squeezing position, arms reaching tall. And then exhale, cactus arms, sitting back and down, elbows to the side, and pull that platter out to the edges. Feel those shoulder blade muscles switching on. Excellent. Final little maneuver is coming onto all fours, lifting your knees off the floor and lifting up between your shoulder blades. Nice. We're just going to hover in this position here. Feel all those muscles of our anterior core and hip flexors really switching on. Magnificent. From here, bring your knees down, cross your feet, sit back, straighten your right leg, bring your left hand over your left arm over your left leg, and we're going to work our tripod get up. So pressing up your hips from the floor, sweeping your right leg back into a hinge and coming up tall. Nice. Then we hinge back, bend the knees, right hand down, sweep through. 2 more on that side. So lift hips, sweep back, come to standing, hinge, bend, hand down, sweep through. Once more, lift, sweep back, come up, hinge, bend, sweep down. Nice. Change sides. Right leg bent, left leg straight. We lift, sweep back, come up, hinge, come down and sweep through. Notice I'm sweeping back with my hips nice and high. So ideally I can just do this with one hand, so in future if I was holding onto something, I wouldn't need to drop it. Fantastic. Now coming up to standing however you like. I'm going to come up through the cross squat get up. So just crossing my legs in front, leaning forward and pressing up. From here, finding your kettlebell. So I'm using a 12 kilo kettlebell today, and I'm going to be holding that kettlebell in the same hand as the side I'm balancing. So maybe I'll turn this other way. Looking to find the tripod in that foot, and then hinge back, press away with your back heel, lower that kettlebell just below your knee, and then come up to stand. And we're going to have 5 to 10 of these. Really quality reps, using the hips for the movement rather than your knees, looking to really build strength in the glutes and all of those hip rotators that are helping to stabilize us. So once you've had 5 to 10 quality reps, then we're simply going to change sides. Kettlebell in left hand, find the tripod in left foot, and hinge and continue. Really staying with the balance. You don't have to do them super fast, particularly if you're learning. It's actually best to go slow and really feel out the movement. So once you've had your 5 to 10, kettlebell down, and coming to our push-up setup. So I've got hands shoulder width apart, and I'm in a really nice upper plank position. I'm wrapping my core, glutes are on, thigh muscles are active, and I'm simply going to pull forward and down and press back up. Pull forward and down and press back up. I'm looking to have 5 to 10 quality reps. Again, if you find yourself losing form, coming into a banana back or tilting the front of your shoulders down, then have a little rest. Once we've done our 5 to 10 of those, we're simply going to transition to the ground. So hinge back, bring right hand down, sweep through, and then lift hips, sweep back. Nice. Hinge, bend, right hand down, sweep through, and then sweep back. And we'll go one more of these tripod get-ups on that side, and then changing side. Left hand down, sweep through, coming up. And we're just going to do 3 per side, but if you're really in the zone, you want to do a few more, you certainly can. Nice. Once we've had our 3 per side, grab that kettlebell,
find your focus. Come into that foot and begin that hinge pattern. Notice I'm not hiking up my pelvis on either side. I'm keeping it relatively level. I'm really looking to keep the weight in the hip, in the glute, keep my whole foot connected to the floor. Once we've had 5 to 10 on that side, we will change sides. Great exercise for strengthening the feet and strengthening your hip and feeling that connection between foot and hip. So those little movements that we do with the foot are affecting that muscle activation in the hip. And we've had about 5 to 10. Popping that down, coming to the push-up. Upper push-up position, core wrapped, glutes on, pulling forward and down, pressing back up. So I'm really coming almost up onto the tips of my toes for this exercise. And nice and engaged and strong in the core. Triceps and pecs are doing the majority of the work. Once we've had 5 to 10, we can have a little shakeout, and we're just going to do one more round. Hinging, bending, right hand down, sweep through, sweep back up. Our tripod, get up. Excellent. You can challenge yourself if you want to hold something in the opposite hand, you certainly can. Fantastic. We've had our 3 per side. Coming back to the single leg RDL. Last round of this. And we may be feeling it. Heart rate might be up a little bit. But again, we're looking to focus. So if you're wobbling all over the place, hit pause, have a little rest. Take your time to zone in. Feel that foot connected. We're not just pushing through to get repetitions here. We're putting quality movement through our bodies into our nervous system. Changing sides. And it's money in the bank, really. Having those quality reps, building those strong patterns is going to serve us in the long run. When we're stressed out, when we're under a bit of metabolic load, our ability to maintain form under pressure is going to be a lot better. Once we've had our 5 to 10, last round of the push-up. Again, finding that nice upright position, pulling forward and down, and pressing up. I'm bringing my chest all the way to the box. You don't necessarily have to do that, but it's nice to build strength through that whole range of motion. And once we've had our 5 to 10, that's a good little movement snack to get you going for the rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.